Obama's historic trip to Israel and the Palestinian territories and his effort to broker peace between the two sides.
Well, Mr. Obama went to the West Bank today and sat down with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, where he challenged Abbas and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to meet directly. We get more from VOA's Jeff Custer.
President Obama arrived in Ramallah in the West Bank early Thursday, where he was greeted by Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. The two met for talks a short time later. Mr. Obama made his appeal for peace later at a joint news conference with Mr. Abbas, saying there is no point of negotiations if either of the parties expect that direct talks can be held only when everything is settled ahead of time.
We cannot give up on the search for peace. Too much is at stake. If we're going to succeed, part of what we're going to have to do is to get out of some of the formulas and habits that have blocked progress for so long. Both sides are going to have to think anew. Those of us in the United States are going to have to think anew. But I'm confident that we can arrive at our destination.
Mr. Abbas repeated his view that Israeli settlement activity is illegal, but he also said he is ready to resume peace negotiations.
I asserted to His Excellency the President that Palestine has taken long and additional steps for the sake of making peace. I hereby assert again that we are ready to implement all our commitments and obligations and to respect the signed agreements and the international legitimacy resolutions in order to provide for the requirements of launching the peace process and achieving the two-state solutions, Palestine and Israel.
Mr. Abbas has insisted he will not resume negotiations until Israel stops settlement activity in the West Bank and building homes in East Jerusalem, two areas he claims for a Palestinian state. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has long called for Mr. Abbas to resume direct talks without preconditions. Following the news conference, Mr. Obama joined Palestinian Prime Minister Salam Fayyad for a tour of a youth center and a dance performance. Mr. Obama later returned to Jerusalem for a speech to Israeli youth and a dinner with Israeli President Shimon Peres. Jeff Custer, VOA News.
And we have a late update. In his speech to students, President Obama said the U.S. has Israel's back, but he urged Israelis to give justice to the Palestinians, saying their children are no different from his daughters or Israeli children, an unscripted comment that's sure to generate reaction. Stay with VOA for continuing coverage of President Obama's Middle East visit.